Hello. So, this is a little bit different video from what I've usually done, but this is a self-help channel, so I did want to touch up a little bit on the last South Park episode. I have a video coming out where I basically am saying that I agree with them briefly, very briefly, but this is going to be for today's video. I know I'm supposed to be doing it every other day, but don't be yelling at me for extra content. Anyway, but Matt Stone and Trey Parker did an episode on social media being a bad thing, and having all this technology is actually a bad thing, and I actually have been saying this for probably about 2 years, maybe even more. And I watched it with my husband, and he looked at me and he was all like, well, there you go. You have people that agree with you. And I was all like, well, yeah, it's not like I'm lying to you. But basically they were saying that social media, when you use it so much, it can actually cause really bad anxiety. And this is something that a lot of millennials have to deal with. And my advice to anybody that's having to deal with anxiety and heavily relies on the internet, try and get out of your home and try to talk to people more. This is something that I need to do too. I am actually using an app to try and get myself out there to actually meet people in person. This is an app mainly for entrepreneurs, so, I mean, you know, those of you who haven't gotten into the business aspect of trying to go for financial freedom or, you know, anything like that, it's probably not an app for you, but I know it's not like social media or anything like that. It's pretty much just a messaging app. You swipe left if you don't want to talk to them. You swipe right if you do. When you both have swiped right, you're able to, even with the free one, it is all like, it's a match. Message this person, and then you can message them. And this is what I've been doing for a little bit now. I've had a couple people flake on me. I have talked to a couple people on the phone. I haven't met anybody in person yet. Like I said, there have been some people flaking. There have been a couple different issues, not in the best area for it either. So a lot of them are actually in other states and whatnot. So it's something that's very general, but it is somewhat helping me with my anxiety. So it's one of those things where you should try to put yourself in the position where you're gonna be pushed to go out there. If you can't do it yourself, try to put yourself in the environment where they support you and push you to do that, because it's very important to stay off of social media and make real in-person connections. So thank you, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, for doing an episode on that. Pretty much, those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go and watch the latest season of South Park, the one that's still airing. The episode is called Buddha Box, and the episode is basically where they have these boxes with this headset inside of it, and it's noise canceling headset. Plus, it has a screen right in front of your face so that you don't have to look at anybody or anything like that. And then, because you're in a box, everything else is dark, so you can just see the screen. You can just hear what's going on the phone. And then at the end of the episode, everybody is like this. So this is something that really called to me, because this is something that I have been wanting to touch up on for a little bit now. This is a problem that I've seen for quite a little bit. I started to notice it when I was about 17 and a half or so. I would look at the world around me and I'd realize just how much people are on their phones all the time, and even now I look around and I see so many people on their phones. Like, we'll be sitting there just saying nothing and everybody will be on their phone, and I'll just look at them and I'll be all like, every single person in this room is on their phone, including me. And I'm probably the only one that isn't on social media, because I'll be writing my book instead. Or, trying to network. But it's one of those things where it's just, sometimes you just have to step back, look at everybody else, and ask yourself, is this something that I really want for myself? We complain that we don't have enough time in the day, and yet we use a lot of it on social media, which only increases our anxiety and helps us to not want to go outside and not want to be healthy. It's a problem. Not only that, but they also make the point that while everybody else is on their phones, this time that you're wasting on your phone can easily be used to start being active in the community, start actually creating a life for yourself. And this is something else that I've been trying to touch up on the channel, is that you have more time than you think. It's usually just you having to sacrifice the things that you want in the short term to get the things that you want in the long term. In the episode, they show the babies being able to do this rally, and then they were also able to put out an album all within one day because their parents were on their phone. And it's one of those things where it's all like, wow, you can get this much done, and it's one of those things where you really got to look at yourself and look at where your time is really going. It's the same thing with finances. If you read my book, pretty much apply those same basic principles to your social media usage. And it's something that you can easily just look at yourself and be all like, wow, I didn't even realize that. So, I mean, if you're somebody that's trying to get into self-help and whatnot, this is a great episode to watch, just because it shows you what you have to do to get where you are aspiring to be. And if you're actually going to do it, you have to follow the basic principle that I talk about in my first book, Cutting Expenses in 25 Ways. It is still available on Amazon. It is no longer free. Sorry about that. But it is one of these things where it should be a basic principle in your life in general to try to make sure that you're focusing on the more important things, on the things that you actually want to do in life when it comes to the time in your day. I'll leave it there, though. I'm sure you guys are getting a little bit annoyed. So, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.